Hey, everybody. I feel like on this first song, Tunnel Vision, I feel like I really just kind of want to gush about the experience of making a second album. There are a lot of, musicians out there that are kind of flashes in the pan. They kind of come out and they burn brightly and then they kind of fizzle away. They're called one hit wonders. And I know technically I am a no hit wonder at this point, but that's not the sort of thing that's going to keep me from continuing to make this amazing music that I'm putting out there. Every song that I write, I feel is better than the one before. That's something that Prince used to say, is that my favorite song is the last song that I wrote. And I definitely feel that. And obviously in spirit of that, I have a favorite song that you guys have never even heard. you know but if I'm looking at this collection of 11 songs, and Tunnel Vision really starts it off with a bang. Hopefully you guys enjoyed just the pure rockingness of this song. It just makes me think about what it means to actually release an album, let alone a second album. There are a lot of people who release an album and then they'll wait. They'll do a lot of marketing, they'll do a lot of touring and whatnot, and then they will, 5 years maybe down the line, they release another album. And a lot of the time, that album is going to end up sounding kind of the same as the one before it, and because that's what worked, that's what sold the albums. I actually really love working kind of as an indie performer here, an indie music maker, musician, slash producer slash whatever you want to say. The fact that I have no record label that I need to report to, if I sell, then great. If I don't sell, it doesn't matter. The music is inside. The music has to come out, and that's how I feel musicians should be, and how I've always wanted to be. There's a certain point where a musician might lose their drive or whatever, and then they take a break, and then they kind of they'll come back with a vengeance, and that's why people are like, comebacks are like a huge thing. But for me, I much prefer those musicians that never go away. I want those musicians who just put out more music, and they don't rely on the hits. They are going to make hits, and if I'm going to continue making hits, I got to continue making new music. So to release a second album is huge. Not only did I really try to up the ante on this one in terms of the tone and the feel, and the approach to different types of music and different types of themes and subject matter. I think I really did a good job with a lot of the storytelling in this album, where it might have been a little bit vague on the first album, although the first album was in my head and it was more just like, this is the stuff that's happening, guys. This one is a little bit more of a storytelling experience, where if you really follow the story, and each day, obviously I have a narrative going, as well as, the song itself should give you a certain impression and a certain feel. There's just this sort of just amazing feeling to be able to produce a work of art. And art is what it is. Art is subjective. Art is up to the person listening. So art could be art that, you might listen to it and be like, that's not my type of art. But it doesn't mean that art is bad. I have always said that. I've always said, like, honestly, there's no such thing as really bad music, because all music is made for someone, and my music isn't for everybody. It's for you. Because if you're watching this video, you're part of the Chaos experience. You've signed up. I'm making this music for you. I'm making music that appeals to me and hoping that you are going to go along on this journey with me. And that's really what I did with the first album. And by extension, I'm doing that with the second album. Oh, God, so much work went into this album. I wrote so many songs. And these are the 11 that made it onto the album. It was originally actually supposed to be 10 songs, but there was one of the songs that like kept getting put on the album and taken off, and then put on the album and taken off. That one's called Wrong Number. Whenever you get to that one, it's near the end of the album. But, you know, it is just a huge deal to release the second album. The second album was made largely pretty much right after I released the first album. The work had already been started on Chaos All. And Chaos All, the song, which you'll hear when I talk about it on that day, I actually wrote before In My Head was even released. So, you know, there's so much weird things with time. And I feel like this album really is a time capsule. If you listen to this and you can hear kind of moments of sadness, you can hear moments of desperation, moments of happiness, moments of isolation, you know, and we're all coming out of this pandemic. I feel like this might be a little too close to home for some people who might have been adversely affected by, you know, isolation and staying indoors and whatnot. But also it's a celebration of a new day. But really, Chaos All is it's just such an amazing album and experience for me to put out. I feel like I've definitely leveled up as a musician, as a storyteller, as a singer, as a songwriter, as a guitarist. You know, I have some guitar stuff going on this one, and even other songs that you haven't heard yet. Even more, you know, guitar stuff going on, bass stuff going on. I've been learning a lot over the past year because, you know, it's been about a year since the first album release, and I'm going to try and keep that up. You know, there's definitely going to be maybe an album a year, maybe multiple. Ooh, who even knows? I guess we'll see. And I just want to say to everybody who's here, you know, in the Chaos Experience, having a fun time with me. We got more music to come. Every day is going to be a brand new song, brand new feel, brand new everything, and you're going to love the heck out of it. So thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow.
I'm coming for it. The win is mine. No other option. If you want a shot, blood under my nails.